Juma Mubarak. And we'll be back at it. Salam. Shalom. Hotep. Peace. Abdul Ab, and we back at it with a little bit of Black Light News reaction. Fresh off work. I got that nah. All right. This right here, it's a serious subject though. Praise out for DaCara Thompson. I always got trouble with that. It's Thomas Thompson. DaCara Thompson. This is a news clip. It's not really circulating as much. This is Fox 5, only got 7K views. That's insane. I think we need to spread some light on this, a little bit of black light on this, because everyone is speaking about, Kirk, and the Ukrainian woman that was unalived on the train by the mental patient. This right here is another unaliving of another sister by an illegal alien. All right. Let's check this out.
Exclusive, the neighbor of the suspect accused of killing 19-year-old DaCara Thompson is speaking out this morning. We're talking about Cody Parson here, who says that he witnessed suspicious behavior of the 35-year-old Hugo Hernandez Mendez following DaCara's disappearance.
Cody tells Fox 5 he lives next door to the alleged illegal immigrant who police say killed DaCara Thompson inside of his bedroom in a Bowie, Maryland home. Cody says early in the morning on August 23rd, he stepped outside of his home and saw something burning in the suspect's backyard. He says he still can't believe this happened.
Damn. From Allah we come from, to Allah we return. Prayers up to DaCara's family, the Thompson family, her mother, her siblings. It's a beautiful picture right here. Look at this face right here. I want y'all to look at it. This is not going around a lot of places. DaCara Thompson. DaCara Thompson. DaCara Thompson. Okay, this reminds me of a situation in Newark, New Jersey, behind Rutgers, a bunch of illegal aliens. One of those crazy paramilitary gangs that have invaded this country, had assaulted her and unalived multiple people, or a sister. Now, I know people saying people just want to work at things like that, and this does happen in communities. But if these lawmakers or these law abiders or these law enforcers, these judges, these courts would have done what they were supposed to do in capturing illegal aliens, and if they weren't protected under these so-called asylum seas, states, what have you, these underground, governments within both sides of the wings, this wouldn't happen.
I'm terrified. This could happen next door to my house, in my neighborhood. Like, my wife sits regularly in between the two houses and smokes late at night. This girl deserves justice. Whatever justice can be given in this world, she deserves it. My heart goes out to her family. I can't even imagine. I have a daughter and my sister going through right now.
Police say they found bloodstains, women's lingerie, hair from a wig consistent with one DaCara Thompson wore, and a fingernail that matches one missing from Thompson's hand. An autopsy reveals she had skull and facial fractures.
Yeah, this is just really sad. ICE officials tell us that Hernandez Mendez is in the country illegally. U.S. Park Police arrested him in April on a DUI, but for some reason, he was released. Jacqueline?
Oh, hi, Callie.
He was released. This is so sad.
Now, the News 4i team has been digging into details about Hernandez Mendez's prior arrest by federal authorities and why he was let go.
Yeah, investigative reporter Tracy Wilkins joining us live in the studio. Tracy, like Erica said, you've been digging on this all day. What have you found?
Well, there are a lot of questions about what happened here, but let's start with what we know about Hugo Hernandez Mendez. And his
She was 18? Was she over 18? Was that why it wasn't put out there?
interactions with the law. A spokesperson from ICE today said he is from Guatemala and entered the country at an unknown
Look at his
date.
face. Look at his face. I wonder why he got that on his face. Satanic animal. This is the animal that we need to say is animals. All right? Not mental patients.
While announcing his arrest today, state and county officials said he had been arrested by U.S. Park Police last spring and charged with the DUI, but was
This
released.
could have been avoided. Now, long-range professional military sniper that no one knows who that is. We don't know who he was. That was a professional hit right there. Okay? This right here could have been avoided. They're just letting these people out, just letting them out. This thing, America, just why they keep coming over here. Just sweet, get your money, do whatever crime you want, bring over whatever fetty, whatever fentanyl you want.
Sources close to the investigation say he was arrested on the Baltimore-Washington Parkway in Prince George's County on April 25th. We've been told that procedurally, he most likely would have been held in the U.S. Park Police barrack in Greenbelt and then would have had a first appearance in federal court in Greenbelt. We looked for those records, but could not find them in the court system. We asked Park Police for charging documents, but they directed us to file an open request in order to get those records. Given the federal push to detain undocumented people in this country, there are questions now as to why he was released after this DUI charge with a federal agency, which is still pending, by the way. Here's what county
Drink and drive where they from. You feel me? No problem. You ever notice when people is from other places, including Jamaicans, Haitians, and things like that, they don't use their blinkers? You ever notice that? Do I be the only one that be using my blinkers? It's very dangerous. Going to these countries, they don't use their blinkers just because. Even on an island where they barely got many roads, they still don't use their blinkers when they need to on certain roundabouts. Like,
Brave Boy said about that arrest earlier today.
Well, I think that the U.S. Government has made status of individuals relevant. This was someone who was in their custody, and they made the decision to release him. So I think the question should be asked of the Justice Department.
Now, we reached out to the DOJ and the Maryland U.S. Attorney's Office for clarification on why Hernandez-Mendez was not held then, since ICE tells us he is undocumented.
Shorty had to put the extra flavor on there. She knows she don't talk like that. Hernandez-Mendez, she put the extra whoop on there.
They told us they have no comment on this case. ICE issued a detainer for Hernandez-Mendez yesterday at this murder investigation as this murder investigation was still unfolding. The case came to the attention of the Black and Missing Foundation when Thompson's parents reached out to them. The group partners with families and law enforcement to help find the people whose cases are sometimes mishandled or ignored. Their work has had a great impact on how cases of missing Black people are handled. They described to me how critical notifying the public early on can be to an investigation.
Regardless of the situation of that person being missing, everyone gets a flyer. And that right there, that public notification is so important. As soon as that missing person's case is filed, it gets a flyer and it becomes disseminated all over the media, social media platforms.
I had to hear this from shout out to Ant CEO. I had to hear this from his page, and he was reiterating how it should have had more coverage on this. You know, people looking at crimes where they can see on camera. This one, you know how many missing Black females is going on across the country, Atlanta, Ohio.
With the general public, and that right there is the first step.
California.
Because the community can't help you in finding someone if the community is not aware that someone is missing. And so just those first 24 to 48 hours, those are the most critical moments.
Prince George's County Police say they did distribute flyers and investigate Thompson's disappearance early on, but that video evidence shows she was entering a vehicle later associated with Hernandez-Mendez before she was reported missing. So there are questions about timing. And as we know, her family led much of the grassroots effort to locate her. So there were questions about critically missing people. Right.
You can see the tension in Mamita's face right there. She said the grassroots. You know what I'm saying? She's like, and Mamita's like, oh, willingly. You don't know how or why she got in that car. She could have been lured in. It could have been a situation going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my. DaCara.
Versus folks who are adults and are in good health.
Right.
And in Prince George's County, those cases are not typically labeled critical. And it also depends on the evidence and a lot of other things. But there were folks on social media who were trying to figure out what's going on. Her family really led the push. And as Prince
Shout out to her
George's
family, man. If they ain't gonna do it, you gotta do it. They ain't gonna do it. We gotta do it. Word. Like, share, and subscribe. Just share this out.
said they were out there distributing flyers. They were doing their investigation. It may not have appeared on all of their social media channels, but the community was definitely reaching out. But of course, just an unfortunate ending to all of this regardless.
What would need to happen to change that? Is that a
get rid of these illegals and stop letting them out in the streets?
police department decision, or is that a statewide decision?
Well, it's a police department decision, but police departments like Prince George's County are following national standards that a number of police departments follow. So the bottom line being, so we had 3 women who went missing around the same time, right? Thompson was one of them. One of those women was found and she was perfectly fine and she was safe. And that's an example of one of these cases that was not initially labeled a critical case. And, you know, there were good reasons for why. So in this case, same kind of thing. You're dealing with healthy adults. Police are looking at the fact that sometimes adults want to go on their own way and do something and maybe not tell the rest of their family where they are. And so handling all of that makes it very complicated, but it's important for the public to understand that's a balancing act.
That's right. And the county executive said she is an adult. She was 19, but she was somebody's baby.
Yeah, a young adult. Yeah.
Tracy Wilkins, thank you.
She had just turned 19 years old prior to this unfortunate circumstance. She was working under Westmore's Maryland Year Service Corps option, whatever it's called, program. She had just completed a year-long internship in which she was very successful. She did a great job. She was a kind of an outgoing, soft-spoken, kind young lady. She was a free spirit. She was a good girl. She was a good kid. So there's been a lot of people disparaging her character on social media and things as such. Please don't believe everything you see. Don't believe everything you hear. Out of respect for the family and us grieving, please, approach everything with grace. We would appreciate that.
Ma'am, do you have any thoughts about this notion that this guy was arrested by Park Police and released back in April?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
This man, Mr. Hernandez Mendez,
Yes.
was arrested by the United States Park Police for drunk driving in a BW Parkway. He was subsequently released. There was no check of his immigration status or anything like that. No warrants.
Prayers out to her mother, man. She's strong to even be out there to be able to even speak. I cannot imagine, yo. Duas to her. Anybody make a dua for me? Maybe bring shafa'a to her family. May Allah make it easier for her to mend this pain. I know it will not be easy at all. Bring comfort into the execution of this illegal criminal and all criminals of the like that is taking away of our people. And all righteous people, innocent people.
But he was
I mean,
federal custody, and then he was released. And he is in the country without the
Right.
documentation. Now that he's filed.
I'm very disappointed, finding that out now, because we may not be here today if they did what they were supposed to do.
People excuse, well, the system isn't perfect. Why do you use it if you know it's flawed? Why do you act like shit doesn't go a righteous way? That's like we telling somebody about all the problems or what's going on with African Americans or foundational blacks, whatever you want to call us. That's like when they keep asking questions, oh, why this, why that? And then you tell them if you have a knowledge of telling them, right? If you have that passed down to you, right? And you have this knowledge before AI, even before the internet, before dial-up, right? And you keep going and giving the answers, then all a lot of people can say is, man, that's messed up. Like,
Let me again say that I just want to be clear, and out of respect for the family as well, any questions regarding the nature of the investigation would be harmful to our investigation at this particular point. So I want to make sure that we don't delve into any of that information. I will say you asked a question earlier. As always, there'll be an autopsy that's performed as a part of the investigation.
Last questions, Katie. Carmen, and then a follow-up from Madam State's Attorney. The family often has a long journey after a crime like this happens, and they have to relive the trauma as the case moves forward, and the victims have to outlive the crime itself. Is the family prepared for what's about to happen in the coming months and the grueling work of retelling the story, working with investigators, everything?
I mean, it looked like they together right now, standing strong. Kind of an idiotic question.
Now, the news.
Now, to get into the theories, should be interesting.
DaCara Thompson's parents just want her home.
It's been hard. It's been hard.
Baby, when I tell you that the details about what happened to DaCara Thompson just keep getting more gruesome by the day, child, is crazy.
Still under investigation. It appears that DaCara willfully entered a vehicle being driven by Hugo Rene Hernandez Mendez, 35-year-old male out of Bowie, Maryland.
As of now, I'm afraid we might never obtain
He wasn't out of Bowie, Maryland. He was out of Guatemalteca.
the full truth from the suspect, Hugo Hernandez Mendez, as to how he convinced DaCara to get into his vehicle because she left her purse in her parked vehicle, which was parked in a no parking zone, meaning she planned to not stay long. And
She probably thought she was buying something from him. Left her purse and her parked car right there. They was trying to get some bud or something.
she told her dad that she would be back soon.
Police came to the scene. We did discover that all of her personal belongings were in her car, such as her purse, her credit card, her debit cards. She even had $60 cash.
And what's even more confusing is, why would he bring a random girl to his home where his family lives, including children? What made him feel comfortable enough to do that? Most times, people do hotels or motels, so it would be hard to trace back to themselves in case of anything. But he took her to his home where several other people live? Make it make sense. Well, personally, I believe all of this is not a coincidence. There's something.
They all connected. They got a paramilitary gang, international organization of crime. They whole families be up on it. I told y'all, my daughter's mother, her whole family was testifying against my mother, trying to put my mother on a domestic violence case. One thing about them, they stick together no matter what. It's one thing we need to learn, man. They be knowing
going on, and the thought of it makes me sick to my
we have a whole weird ass family secrets. They cousin, they mama be they cousins, and they mamas.
Stomach, especially when we consider that allegedly they found other women's underwear in Hugo's bedroom. Are we talking about a serial unaliver here? Did DaCara know this man prior to their meeting? And what exactly are the rest of the family members hiding? Child.
Of course, there has been an even wider conversation going on, with some people claiming that in order for any Black life to matter to BLM, it exclusively has to be a Black life taken by the hands of a white person. Illegals don't count.
Legals don't count. Black people don't count. Everybody is subjected to scrutiny, and things need to be repaired. The root word of reparations.
That's why they're quiet about DaCara Thompson's death. And guess what? Social media has also been flooded with posts about theories of DaCara selling herself. Goodness. Okay, I'm sure by now y'all have probably heard.
That's where y'all go to. Y'all go to the straight that she was towing out here. She got to be a 304.
Heard about what happened to DaCara, which is that she was first reported missing by her father just before 9 p.m. on August 23rd. And he told police that he'd last seen her the night of August 22nd. He said he called her.
22nd is the same night where Irina Karutsky, whatever her name is, that's when she got attacked.
When she hadn't returned home a short time later, but she didn't answer. He also told them she texted him that night that she was going to get gas and get back soon, but he never heard.
Gas could have been weed.
From her again when she didn't go back home on.
And why would she leave her purse and everything in her car and go that far? I heard Toza have a weapon on them somewhere, a taser in a purse, a little 22 deuce, you know what I mean? A little pat, back.
August 24th, family members tracked the last location of her phone to the intersection of Jasmine Terrace and Riggs Road in Hyattsville. And once there, they saw her car and called the police. Based on what the family said, DaCara is the youngest of 5, and they all share locations through the Find My Phone app. So when they checked DaCara's location, they saw that it was turned off, and that the last spot it was turned on was near the intersection of Jasmine Terrace and Riggs Road. Now, up until a couple of days after DaCara went missing, the family was still hopeful. But they were scared because her bank account had gone untouched. Unfortunately, on August 31st, around 4:50 p.m.
Shout out to Culture Spill. This is from Culture Spill. She giving a lot more information than the news is.
Maryland State Police responded to Route 50 between Maryland Route 424 and Maryland Route 97 in Annapolis for a disabled vehicle on the short bridge that is over the South River, where troopers.
Damn, my cousin used to live out there in Annapolis.
Apparently saw a body on their river embankment about 30 feet below. Then on September 3rd, detectives met with DaCara's family and said they were able to identify her through the pictures they shared. Reportedly, she had skull and facial fractures, and her family identified her through her tattoos and jewelry. But here's where it gets really interesting. Footage from August 23rd from 3:06 a.m. showed DaCara leaving her white SUV and walking from Jasmine Terrace down Riggs Road towards University Boulevard in Hyattsville. The surveillance footage showed her walk into the parking lot of a business on University Boulevard, approach the driver's side of a black GMC Yukon Denali, and appear to speak to the driver before walking around to the passenger side and getting in the passenger front seat. At this point, authorities say that they were able to obtain a tag for the vehicle and figure out that it was registered to someone who lived on Cambridge Drive in Bowie, Maryland, Hugo Hernandez Mendez. But get this, when DaCara left with Hugo, she left her purse in her car parked in front of a fire hydrant. Who leaves their purse behind at 3 a.m. in a car parked in front of a fire hydrant, especially when they're getting into someone else's car? Was she planning on coming right back? Was she in a rush? Was she kidnapped? Or was she so familiar with Hugo that she felt safe enough to leave her belongings? And did she turn off her location tracker herself? Honestly, the timing, the location, the decision to leave her purse, all of it just feels off. Did she willingly meet Hugo? Was this prearranged or a spur of the moment decision? And why in that specific spot? Anywho, on September 3rd, detectives said that they went to Hugo's home just before 9 p.m. And once there, they saw the black SUV parked in front of the address. They applied and were granted a residential search warrant for the address, and early in the morning of September 4th, they returned to the home. Before they could serve the warrant, court documents reveal that they saw a man leave the home and get in the front seat of the SUV. Then, upon being questioned, Hugo allegedly told authorities that he was at the Galaxy nightclub on University Boulevard in the early morning hours of August 23rd, which is across the street from where DaCara Thompson was seen getting in the black SUV. Police said he told them that he was supposed to meet his ex-girlfriend but never did. And when they began to question him more, he denied involvement in DaCara's disappearance and asked for a lawyer. Apparently, after executing a search warrant, police found what they believed to be DaCara's blood and missing white and pink French manicured fingernail, along with hair, a wig, and other
That is horrible, yo. That is horrible.
evidence in the bedroom and in the trash, along with multiple pairs of women's underwear and lingerie. Hugo Hernandez Mendez was then arrested and charged with first and second degree unaliving in the gruesome death of 19-year-old DaCara Thompson. ICE then issued a detainer for who they called a criminal illegal alien and said justice would be
All of them need to get processed. All of them.
served for DaCara's family. In addition, investigators also said they believe
Some demonic Santeria worshiping, drug pushing, actual assaulting, like
Hugo unalived DaCara Thompson inside his bedroom early in the morning of August 23rd, and then drove her body to Route 50 between Route 424 and Route 97 in Annapolis and threw her body over the short bridge. Guys, to think that someone could calmly load her body into a car, drive along Route 50, and then toss her over a short bridge as if she were disposable is almost too disturbing to process. That act alone shows a level of coldness and detachment that feels inhumane. And what's even more surprising,
they be chopping their own people heads off with butter knife. They gang, gang, gang. Like was the Spaniards right? I mean, they are the Spaniards, but was they right about them pyramids? Like, this is crazy.
is
because I usually don't go by the conquerors what they say about the people. I think that's bass backwards. You know what I'm talking about? But sheesh, man, they might have got it from Spain. Reconquista.
that there were people in the house when everything was going on, and they were also questioned by the police. So one person told the police they live with their family at the home and are cousins with Hernandez Mendez and two other roommates. The cousin told the police that she couldn't believe that a family member would do such a thing, but she also said that in the last 2 weeks, she rarely saw Hernandez Mendez and that his behavior had changed. She said that she even told her cousin to confess and reported that during investigations, her husband
Whatever Naya saying this shit. I wasn't saying this when she was fucking missing. I'm telling you, the whole family be in it. The whole family be linked to the cartel too. Straight up. Straight up. All of them. They have families. They help them get up here, all that. Y'all seen the other thing I reported on where the dude had a whole compound like a mansion. He had a bunch of illegals living in little trailers on his compound and working for him at his business while they paying off the coyotes. That's the people that transport them over. What used to be $1,600 a pop.
Hernandez Mendez and a third relative were taken in for questioning by investigators, and Hernandez Mendez was the only one not released. She also said that the next morning, federal immigration agents were back at the home, but this time to take her husband into custody. But she insisted that her husband has nothing to do with the alleged.
They did not have an order from my husband or a warrant for me. They simply handcuffed him and took him, she said, with two young children.
Crime, and that he fully cooperated in the criminal investigation, and she did not.
He didn't have a warrant, huh? He's a fucking illegal alien. Maria.
Not understand how the criminal case against her cousin prompted an immigration case against her husband. Another roommate also reported.
Oh, pardon me. It's a boy. Hey, that's in the family. Y'all the one let him in the house unaliving sisters like that. Covered him, let him hide out.
Reported hearing DaCara and Hugo having intercourse, and then a grunting noise which made them believe that someone wasn't enjoying the activity. Then after waking up a few hours later, they remembered walking outside and seeing that the GMC was not parked outside the house. They told detectives they thought that this was strange, since Hernandez Mendez reportedly does not work on Saturdays, and the GMC is usually parked out front. A third and fourth witness reportedly did not know anything about the overnight hours of August 23rd and told detectives that they live on the opposite side of the house from Hernandez Mendez. But the question is, did the people inside that house see and hear more than they're letting on?
They talking about, oh, there was having intercourse. I'm telling you, these are some evil ass fucking people, yo, and they will say whatever, do whatever to stay together, keep their family out of trouble, unless it's gonna cause them to be doing a lot of time. I'm telling you.
Are they protecting Hugo out of loyalty, fear, or even self-preservation? Because
Loyalty and self-preservation and fear.
between the cousin's uneasy comments, the husband's sudden immigration arrest, and the roommate's eerie testimony, it's hard not to wonder if this family is holding pieces of the puzzle investigators.
They most definitely are. All of them need to fucking go. Mija, Tia, Titi, Kiko, Juancito, Guadalupe, Guadalajara, all of them.
Are still trying to put together. And get this, Hugo already has history with the police, and it isn't just messy, it's a full-on cautionary tale. I mean, long before DaCara's name got caught up in this heartbreaking story, Hugo had already built himself a rap sheet that reads like the handbook of reckless driving. First, we're talking DUI charges, not one.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Coach Spill. Y'all check her out, man. We're gonna pray for her and her family today at Juma, inshallah. Abdul Abbott, thank you for coming through. It's terrible. Peace.